Twitter still happened, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And Twitter got really too big for its britches.
Yeah,
they're like, hey, look at us.
They're like, hello, literally everyone, and you were like, don't get cocky.
Yeah, right. You're next. You're next. Unfortunately, because I still kind of like Twitter. I wish I didn't like it so much, but I do.
Yeah.
It just seems to be like it's the front lines of all the activity that's happening in politics. So you got to kind of be on Twitter. But Facebook is totally the sad mall now, and it's and that actually kind of downplays how awful it is, because it really is. It's a place where Ramsey Bolton was, doing all kinds of terrible crap to other people. But it's and now with Mark Zuckerberg denying that all of those allegations from the whistleblower actually took place, there's the gaslighting on top of the rest of it. So, adding insult to injury.
Let's listen to Senator Blumenthal, who must have talked to a grandkid of his or something. He knows what's
Facebook's
up.
failure to acknowledge and to act makes it morally bankrupt. Again and again, Facebook rejected reforms recommended by its own researchers. Last week, Ms. Davis said, quote, "We're looking at," end quote. No specific plans, no commitments, only vague platitudes.
So what do we do? As someone just said, Bob, we've known about this this isn't like this is new news. We knew in 2016, we knew in 2020, the horrible effect they were having. So do you think Congress is going to take meaningful action?
Well, I don't know any other way other than to hope that Facebook just fades away, that people stop using it. But given its user base, I find that to be very unlikely at this point. I mean, one of the reasons why we were just talking about it, we can't disconnect ourselves from it because our lives are so intertwined with it, which leaves very few options as far as convincing people. I kind of thought for a while you could use the tobacco model, where there was an ongoing campaign for a couple of decades there to shame people from smoking cigarettes. And I thought, well, maybe if something like that were to happen with Facebook, you could kind of drag people away from it so that it just dies a natural death, sort of like MySpace or whatever came before it. Friendster was before that. Yeah. But I don't know that can happen because, I mean, again, we're talking about now, we're coming up on 20 years for Facebook. And that's a long time for a platform to build up a user base where, again, all of our lives are intertwined with it. So how do we act on principle and draw ourselves out of it other than to be forced out of it? And I was kind of hoping during that outage the other day, I was kind of hoping in that process that maybe the reason it was down is because they were deleting all the political content, like all of the pages that have political angles to them. I was hoping that that's what was happening, and including my own page, because, I do a political podcast. So, I was hoping maybe Facebook would make that decision for me. I think that's the only way to do it.
I think one of the most damning things is just the involvement in January 6th, that people would be alive. They would not have been able to follow through on that. And we just played Mike Pence. You commented on that. I mean, obviously Mike Pence is a target of the January 6th investigation because he's up to his albino eyebrows in it, as usual. Yeah. You said
Mike Pence is up to his albino eyebrows in this.
Sean, I feel like you're interrupting more since you've left, but but you just tweeted flaccid, impotent, weak, spineless ass kisser. I mean, it is just does he not get the people that wanted to hang him hate him, are not going to vote for him? Yeah. I don't know what he thinks he's doing. It's
an entire movement that's driven by this worship of this phony baloney toxic alpha masculinity that Donald Trump is all about. And we know that it's phony baloney because we know what he's really like. We know that this is bluster to make up for the fact that, he's kind of just this soft-handed, effete kind of guy who lives in a gold-plated penthouse. But it's one of those things where Mike Pence, I don't know where he would get any respect from any red hat.
He's everybody's goat. Like he's everybody's. He's nobody's hero because we're now learning that he really tried. If he absolutely, if there was any way he could have legally, he would have done this coup. Right, with Trump. So, we hate him, and his sides we hate him because he didn't do it. I mean, and here he is.
Well, by doing this, I don't know what he expects to prove. I don't know how he expects to win over any Trump supporters, just kind of butt-kissing the entire movement at this point after they were trying to hang him.
Right, we need to know.
Stand up for yourself a little bit.
It was an amicable breakup. Oh, please tell us more about your Brokeback Mountain foxhole experience.
You can't spend almost 5 years in a political foxhole without somebody, without developing a strong relationship. And January 6th was a tragic day in the history of our Capitol building. But thanks to the efforts of Capitol Hill police, federal officials, the Capitol was secured. We finished our work. And the president and I sat down a few days later and talked through all of it.
Oh.
I'm
choking up.
The American people know it.
Lindsey Graham's like, I want to be in the foxhole. Why wasn't I in the foxhole?
Yeah.
Who wants?
Oh, he's been in a foxhole or two.
Okay, and then just more, Bob, about the breakup, just so you know.
I can tell you that we parted amicably at the end of the administration, and we've talked a number of times since we both left office. Really? But I believe that our entire focus today should be on the future.
Well,
I parted amicably with
the guy that tried to hang me.
Yeah.
What's a little attempted hanging between friends? Oh, well.
Yeah, I baked him a cake and everything was fine. No, Mike. Oh, my God, Mike.
Oh, my God.
Have some dignity. Have some self-respect.
oh, my God.
Stand up for yourself. My God.
Can I just say, of all the things in the Stephanie Grisham book, my favorite has been listening to you talk about how he called from Air Force One, Stephanie Grisham, to say, tell everyone I don't have a mushroom. Because Stormy Daniels' book had just come out. And by the way, of all the books about Trump, she's the one I believe the most. I absolutely 100% believe he has a little teeny tiny mushroom. I absolutely believe that.
That's right. I mean, just because Stormy Daniels works in porn doesn't mean she's a liar.
No,
I mean, I don't know why we make this jump, this assumption.
It makes her an expert on penises.
Right. Well, and she called it unusual, and it reminded her of the Mario Kart mushroom with the Yeti pubes. And so Trump called from Air Force One. Oh my God! Anything to be a fly on that wall. He said, "Did you see what she said about me? All lies, all lies." Grisham said, "Yes, sir. Everything down there is fine." She thought he was calling about like how mad is Melania about the whole Stormy Daniels book, and he's just like, "It's all good down there. Yeah. But go on TV immediately and say I don't have a mushroom tea."
Well, it's because of Bob that we have the "I'm the best."
Yeah. Oh, right. And Air Force One is this state-of-the-art flying fortress, right? It's got the secured phone lines. It's like, you can live up there for a long period of time. Right. You can fly in planes to refuel it. Yes. It can circle the country over and over again if there's some sort of disaster on the ground. It's this amazing piece of technology, which Trump is then availing himself of in order to set the record straight on the size of his penis. I mean, is there anything indicative of the last 4 years?
In presidential archives, Bob, will he be like JFK during the Cuban Missile Crisis? He's recording, say I don't have a mushroom. Make sure you... Just like when we think his presidency can't be any more ridiculous, we will hear some new thing. It's just like,
I mean, if you thought George W. Bush was insulting when he was staring out the window of Air Force One, looking down at the devastation of New Orleans after Katrina, we got now Donald Trump on Air Force One staring at his telephone going, why did she say my penis looks like a video game character?
Probably whipping it out left and right. Look at this. It's not like a mushroom at all, right? Look at it.
Yeah.
Look.
Oh, my God. Yeah, let me take a picture here on my secured iPhone, on my unsecured iPhone.
Right.